Okay, today is another day that we have to do mathematics. Of course, it is a day we are going to look at bearings, directions and bearings, which is a grade 9 topic. Of course, even in grade 10, you definitely have to learn bearings and directions. So it is very important that you understand this video because it's going to help you in your grade 10 once you make it. Like your friends recently made it to grade 10. Of course, you are aware the Ministry of Education published the results, grade 9 results and grade 7, and it is of good interest that you get to see how your friends performed. Then you shall know how you will also perform when you write your examination. So far, grade 9s had 53% pass rate, and that tells you that a number of them did not perform well. So it is a chance for you to show that you can do better. By watching these videos, I can guarantee you that you are going to succeed in your grade 9 examination without fail. So now let's begin today's lesson. Directions and bearings. Lesson number 1. Now, there are two types of bearings. That is compass bearing and true three-figure bearing. Okay, so the true bearing, it is sometimes referred to three-figure bearing. So these are the two types of bearings that we are going to look at. Okay, and when you look at these two types of bearings, therefore now it means that you will find questions in your examination paper of these kind of bearings and you should be able to answer them. Now let us look at directions. Now when you talk of direction, here this is where the compass bearings fall into, because we are talking of directions. So now we need to understand the compass bearing, then we shall be able to show what direction is. Of course, when we hear the word direction, something should click in your mind. We are talking of, is it this direction? Is it that direction? Is it this? You are talking of direction around you. That is the direction. So now let us look at the compass bearing. Compass bearing shows us directions to specific places. Now, what is a compass bearing? A compass bearing, what is it used for? A compass bearing is used for navigation and orientation. So we talk of a compass is used for direction and navigation. That is a compass. And we are simply saying that in mathematics, compass bearing is represented by 4 major cardinal points. Now, here we are simply talking of the four major cardinal points. Now, these 4 major cardinal points, they are what we call the directions. In other words, these 4 major cardinal points, they are what we call cardinal points. They are what we call the directions. In mathematics, we have 4 of them. And what are these 4? We have the north, the east, the south, and the west. These are the 4 cardinal directions, okay, points. So now, the important thing is that when you know these directions, now you need to know how do these directions work. How can I use this direction to get the correct answer? Now, note, I'll put a note here for you just to know that this is serious. Note, every direction is either measured from the north or the south. You only measure direction either from the north or the south. You don't measure directions from east, west, no. It is either you are measuring the direction from north or the south. It can never be east, north, or east, south. Then that is wrong direction already. So the directions that you have is only going to be northeast or north-south or southeast or southwest. That is how you measure direction. Or it can be south-southeast or southeast-east. That is how you measure the direction. You can never measure east to south. So they're saying we don't measure direction from west or east. We don't. So keep that as a reminder all the time. Now let us come to naming the compass. We need now to name the compass. Since we have the compass, so now let us see how we name the compass. It is very important to know all the directions. So we already have north, east, south, west there. That's our compass. So we need to name it. Of course, when we divide, when we break this compass in the middle part of this, we say we break this compass there. Okay. When we break this compass there, and then we also break this in the middle there. What kind of directions are these? Okay, what kind of directions are these? Now, this direction, it is in the middle of northeast there. You can see it is in the middle of north what? Northeast. And this direction is in the middle of southeast. And this one is southwest and northwest. So we need to name these directions now. So these directions are what we call this one as, you remember we cannot send east north. It's supposed to be northeast. So this direction it will be north what? East. Okay? This is northeast. So this direction will be northeast. What about this direction? It cannot be east-south, but it will be southeast. It will be southeast. Okay? It will be southeast. Let me just write my S properly. It will be southeast. So we are saying this direction will be southeast. Okay? Southeast. What about this direction? Southwest. You can't say west-south. It will be wrong. So it will be southwest. What about this direction? It will be northwest. Northwest. It means that we have covered the direction, the middle part. Now, remember in angles, which is grade 9 topic, we looked that in between, we looked at complementary angles. We said that if two angles that add up to 90 degrees are called complementary angle. And we know that in every direction between north and east, there is a 90 degrees angle which is formed. So in between these two, there is a 90 degrees. This is a 90 degrees, as you can see. This is also 90 degrees, and 90 degrees. So in between northeast is 90 degrees, and in between southeast is 90 degrees, and southwest is 90 degrees, and northwest is 90 degrees. In between these directions, it is 90 degrees. So always remember the angles. They are very important because here we will deal with angles specifically as well. Okay, so now that we have named northeast and north, what if now we come and cut this direction? We cut it there. Okay, let me cut this direction now. We cut the direction there. What does this come? And then we also cut this direction. Let's say we cut it here. We want to find all major possible directions. Let us name these directions now. We have this direction here. What is it? And this direction there. We need to name it. Now look at this direction. This direction, it is in between north and northeast. So what will this direction be? Of course, we have north there, so we have to put our north here. North, again we have northeast, so we put northeast there. So this direction, it will be north, northeast. North, northeast, that is the direction. Okay? Keep in mind, these are very simple things. We are just trying to name the compass. Then what about this direction? This direction is in between south and southwest. So this direction, it will be south, southwest. So we write our south there. Then what will come next? South again. Next, west. So this direction will be south, southwest. Okay. Then we move on to the next part. Let's say we cut again this direction here. We cut it there. And also we come and cut this direction there. Cut this direction there. Okay. Okay, we have cut this direction there, and this direction there, and this there. So we need to name these parts, these directions. Okay, so let me just make the lines shorter so that they can be inside. So we see that this is actually the truth. Okay. So this direction we have identified to be south, southwest. Now let us come to the other direction, which is of course this direction. Let us name this direction. You see, where we are, we have northeast and east there. So I cannot say northeast on this part. No, I'll start from this direction point, which is here. So this is northeast. So I'll write my northeast there, north there. We have a north already. But what do we have? We have northeast, but east again. So we have northeast, east. So this is northeast, east. What about this direction? This direction we have southwest. So we only have southwest, west. So this one will be south, west, west. Okay, southwest, west. That will be the direction for this one. This cardinal point, the direction will be south, west, west. Okay, so we have done this part and this part. Now let's come to this major, the other direction. Let's say this part is northwest. So we start with this one to be north. Again, we write north what? West. So it will be north, northwest. What about this one? It will be northwest, west. This one will be north, west, west. That is the direction here. Then we move on to the next one. This one which will be south, east, east. Now this is southeast. So we are going to have south, east, east. What about this one? This one to be south, southeast. So we are going to say this is south, southeast. My dear ones, this is how you name the compass. It means that now we have completely named the compass. Hence, you can use any of these directions to name it. It can be north, northeast, northeast, east, or southeast, east, or south, southeast, or northeast, southeast. That is how you name the compass. And that is how you call the directions. Note that there is nothing like east, south, east, south. There is nothing like that. There is nothing like west, south, west, north, nothing. We use directions either from north or south. We don't use east or west to name the directions. Now let's look at the example here and see how we can work it out. Example number 1. Name the direction in compass bearing of A, B, C, D given below. So we need to name these now. We already know how we can name them. So no, we need to give a correct answer here by naming, of course. So how do we name this compass now? Let me just create a working space there. I say solutions. So this is our solutions here. How do I name this compass now? How do I name them? So we'll start with the first one, the north. What is this? You see, this is a cardinal point which divides north and east in between. Okay, it's not in between, but this is the only cardinal point that we have because they're telling us this angle is 68. So in order for me to find this angle, I know this angle plus this angle should give me 90. So I'm going to say 90 minus 68, that will be the whole angle. But we are not asking about the angles. We are asking you to name this cardinal point, which is A. Remember, we start from north going to east. So already here we have north, 68 of east. Okay, so now we start with A. So our A, how we name it, this is very important. Please note, so you know how you name this. So let's begin with our A. So our A is going to be, what will be the direction of A? It will be north, 68 degrees east. North 68 degrees east. That is how you name that direction. North 68 degrees what? East. Full stop. You are done with this one. Now let us come to B. Let us come to B. How do we name B? Okay, how do we name B? Let us see how we name B. B, it is here. And B, it is south 35 degrees east. Simple as that. You see, these are simple things. They are not even difficult. Okay, so we are going to say B, it is south 35 degrees east. That is my B. Once you say east, then you are wrong. You always start with south, then going to east, north, going to east. You don't start with anything else. Let us look at our C. What will be the direction for C? C. C is here. So I cannot say west, south. No, it will be wrong. It's supposed to be south, then west. So this one to be C, it will be south 54 degrees west. Okay? So we are saying that C, it is south 54 degrees wastes. Just like that, it has ended. Okay, we are done. We move on to D. What will be our D now? Of course, we cannot say west going there. No, we can't. It's supposed to be north. So it means that the angle they are asking, the direction they are talking about is this direction. They are not talking about this direction. So they have skipped the direction that you need to find here. So you cannot say north 65 degrees west. No, it's wrong. Because before you reach at this point, which is here, there is a direction. So the direction they are talking about here, it is this direction which is here, to D. So you are moving from north to D. So it means that this one, it is this direction they are asking us here. So this direction is what we don't know. So we need to find this direction. So how do I find this direction? It's supposed to be, I know that this plus this one, it gives me 90 degrees. So I'm just going to subtract 65 from 90, and then I will find this direction. And when I find this direction, then I will name it now like this, and I'll be correct. Now let's see how we can work it out. Let's do it from here. Erase this part. Hopefully you have copied this. Let's pause the video and copy this part. It's very important. Pause the video and copy. Very important. Okay. Just quickly remove all this so that we can do the example here. Okay, so how do we answer this question? We are simply going to find first. We need to find what D is. That is our question. So we need to find D. But for me to find D, I need to find the angle. So let me find the angle X here. This angle is the one I'm interested in. So I'm going to write my working like this. When I add X plus, okay, I know that my D is that, okay, let me just do it like this. If I want to find the angle in between D, the answer D, it will be, what am I saying, equal to? Remember, when you are naming, you don't put equal to. You just put the enclosed brackets. We need to name D. D to be north X degrees west. D is simply north X degrees west. That is D. So now we need to find X there and replace it. So how do we do it? We know that the whole of this angle adds up to 90 degrees. Now they have told us that this one is 65, so we need to find X. So we are going to say X, when I add X plus 65, I should get 90 degrees. When I add this, I should get 90 degrees. So for me to find X, I connect the like terms. Remember, you get the whole of this and take it the other side, crosses the equal sign. It will be X is equal to 90 minus 65 degrees. So what will be the angle X now? We are simply saying that to be 90 minus 65, which gives us, is it 25? Okay, let's see. We have 5 there, then we have 8 there, 6, 7, 8. We have 2. Okay, we have 25 degrees. So now we can replace where there is X there with 25 degrees because now we have named the direction. So we can say therefore D, which is the direction D, is equal to north, okay, 25 degrees west. And this now will be the final answer. If you answer it like this, you have named the directions correctly. So this is how you work out this kind of a question, and this is about compass bearing. Okay, this is about compass bearing. You have known how to name it. Now we shall see in the next lesson video how you can do the practical work. How do questions come about this? Then you shall see how to answer. If you are able to do something like this, then just know that something complicated like this will come in your exam, and you need to be able to answer. So don't miss the next video because it will be specifically solving questions under compass bearing. Okay, as for now, I would advise you to pause the video, copy the notes in your extra notebook so that you can have a hard copy of information every time, anywhere you want to do a reminder. As for now, we end here for this lesson. and let us look forward for another lesson. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe so that you can get the notification bell every time I post a new video. You don't miss out, because this time around you need to be on fire and you need to overcome mathematics without fail. 100% pass rate is the goal. So please be with me and I can promise you 100% pass. Thank you and God bless. See you in the next lesson.